So there's an element of luck in the concert business. Tell me about some of the shows that SHP has kind of lucked into. I know the first off my head is The Strokes.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely a level of luck and good fortune to this business, and us being independent outside promoters, we've over the years had tremendous relationships with the venues. And the first one that comes to mind, I believe it was March of 2001, we had been doing a regular night back then at a club called Dragonfly in Hollywood. We would do every Tuesday night there with 3 or 4 local rock bands, and it was really one of our first places where we had a residency essentially. And I remember the owner of the Dragonfly calling us. At that time we were working out of my apartment. He calls us and he says, "Hey guys, can we add a band to your bill next week?" And we were like, "Well, we got 3 or 4 bands already. We can't really do it." He's like, "Well, they're like the biggest band out of New York, and they're on the cover of Rolling Stone." And we were like, "What? Who is it?" And he's like, "The Strokes." And we kind of knew who they were, but we didn't know. So we're like, "Yeah, sure, let's add them." He goes, "And keep track of all the admissions because the label is going to reimburse you and write you a check." And I was like, wow, we're getting money for free? And at that time, in those days, this is 23 years ago, we would charge $5 at the door. So I told our door girl, I said, keep track of everyone who comes to see the Strokes, because we used to ask who's here to see what band and keep a chart. And sure enough, the Strokes had 200 plus people at $5 a pop. The other bands that we booked didn't bring anybody, and the room cleared out when the Strokes were done. And it was such a great night, and I remember the owner really did write us a check for all the admissions for the Strokes. It was our first really famous big band that we did. And I remember that night I was just chasing the manager of the band around. I was like, "This is awesome, man. You want to do some more clubs? We got Luna Park and we got The Joint." And in return, what I did do is we made a commemorative kind of souvenir poster of that night, and we superimposed the door sheet onto the poster, and we framed it and we gave it to the owner of Dragonfly. And because he didn't have to he could have canceled us. He didn't have to give us that money. He was just a really good dude. And that was our first one that we sort of lucked into.
For full episodes and more, check out our YouTube channel at We Book Things.